Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about conserving freshwater and extending time off-grid for the black and the gray tanks. My name's Sally. I'm a 65-year-old solo full-time RV nomad. I've been traveling solo for about 13 years now and a full-timer for about 18 months. I've learned a thing or two about how to conserve resources and extend my time off-grid. Some of this I had never seen talked about before, and in this video I'm going to share my top 5 tips plus a bonus with you. Before we jump into the tips, please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and if you think you have, please check to make sure you still are subscribed because YouTube has been spontaneously unsubscribing people, not just from my channel, but from many others as well. And hit that notification bell to find out when new videos are going to be released. And of course, a thumbs up is always appreciated. Now, just in case you're wondering, so for comparison for you, my fresh tank is 35 gallons, my gray is 28, and my black is 32 gallons. I boondock most of the time, and I'm able to go easily 2 weeks between dumping my black and gray tanks. About the longest I've been able to make it so far on my fresh tank is 10 days. Now, I've never run out of water, but that's the furthest I've pushed it. So I've started carrying about 2.5 gallons of extra fresh water, and I'm trying to stretch it out a little bit further each time. Ideally, filling fresh and dumping gray and black every 2 weeks would be great for me. So one issue with my fresh tank is that the outlet for the water pump is high enough on the side of the tank that I lose the use of about 5 gallons of that capacity, so I really only have about 30 gallons in the tank. That means I'm averaging over a 10-day period about 3 gallons a day in fresh water use, and almost half of that is drinking water for me and my dog Kit, who just jumped up behind me, as well as any fresh water needed for cooking. That's pretty conservative, huh? Alright, so let's roll the intro, and then we're going to jump into the tips. Tip number 1, monitor your freshwater usage. The easiest way to conserve fresh water is to be mindful of how much you're using. Take shorter showers. Turn off the tap while you're brushing your teeth. Use a basin for washing your dishes. Also, consider investing in low-flow shower heads and faucets to further reduce your water usage. Better yet, get a shower head with a button that stops the flow so you can soap up without running water, then turn it back on to rinse off. Tip number 2. Now here's the number 1 thing it took me a long time to figure out, and nobody ever talked about it. Don't run your faucets at full pressure. When I'm running water, I just use a trickle, and it makes the water pump sound like it's just burping instead of running continuously. I'm shocked at how much less water I use once I figured that one out. Tip number 3, minimize how much water and other stuff goes into your gray water tank. I use my napkin after I eat to wipe off all my dishes before I wash them. That helps significantly reduce the amount of food particles that get washed down the drain into the gray tank, as well as how much soap and water you need to clean the dishes. Not just particles, but also like grease and stuff like that, which makes it smell. Tip number 4, reduce your black water output. Black water is the wastewater that comes out of your RV's toilet. To reduce your black water output, one consideration could be putting in a composting toilet. Those can be expensive, and they've got their own issues in terms of maintenance. It's not something that I'm willing to take on at this point. When it comes to the black tank, this is a case where water is your friend in a conventional black tank toilet setup, especially when depositing solids. You know what I mean. There are 2 things that will really help with maintaining your black tank. The first one is to just about fill the bowl with fresh water before you flush. The second one is to not flush toilet paper ever. I know this goes contrary to everything you've been taught about how to use the bathroom in North America, but here's the truth. In many other countries, toilet paper is never flushed. There's always a small trash can next to the toilet in which to put the paper. Now, a big benefit of this practice is that you can stop buying crappy toilet paper designed for RVs. Buy whatever kind of toilet paper you like, use as much of it as you want. You're going to thank me for adopting this practice. Tip number 5, practice good tank maintenance. Proper tank maintenance is essential for extending the life of your black and gray tanks. Be sure to flush your tanks regularly. Avoid the vast majority of those commercially available tank treatment products. For the most part, they're full of perfumes and they mask odors rather than eliminating them, or even breaking down the waste as you would hope they would. And in fact, some of them even kill the bacteria which you really need in your black tank to be able to maintain it effectively. Instead, I got this recommendation from a tank cleaning company. Make your own additives by combining 2 ounces of Calgon Pearl bath beads with 10 ounces of Pine Sol in a 32-ounce bottle. Fill the rest of the bottle with clean tap water, and then add a cup to your black tank and your gray tank after you've dumped. Now, when after you've dumped your tanks, you also want to put a couple of gallons. I usually put about 3 gallons of water into each of my tanks when I put the additive in. Pine Sol is both a cleaner and a disinfectant, and this combination makes the tank slicker so that it's easier to empty completely. Now, you may be wondering, based on all that I've shared, including my average consumption of fresh water, what do I do about staying clean? Well, here's your bonus tip. It's really not necessary to shower every day. Doing so is a practice that was sold to us by the personal hygiene product manufacturers. It's all a ploy to get us to spend more money and buy more products to fund their corporate greed. Think about it. My grandparents, my parents, and even myself as a child of the 50s did not take a full bath more than once a week. It wasn't until the product sales hit hard and heavy that everyone became convinced that failing to take a full bath or shower every day meant that they were not clean. Not true. Now, I do bathe daily in what we used to call a sponge bath, and doing so needs no more than a cup of water. So I do stay clean. By sharing these tips and the truth about how I do it, all I'm encouraging you to do is to think differently about the habits you've developed and whether it might not be time to upgrade them. By following these tips, you can conserve water, reduce your environmental impact, and extend your time off-grid. And if you're wondering what I keep looking at, Kit's over on the far side doing something. Let's see if he wants to come say hi. Hey, Kit, come here. Come here, let's say hi. Come on up. Here he is. Here he is. Let's say hi, Kit. Hi. Look at the people. Okay, thanks for watching. Have happy travels. We'll see you soon. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and always remember to sally forth. Live your best life. Go out and adventure in whatever way works for you.